Welcome to the Chiropractic Wealth YouTube channel. And what we do is, I'm Dr. Paul, and we give a Chiropractic Wealth Summit once a year. And essentially, it's what I've found to be the easiest way for chiropractors to create wealth. And so these are the big topics we cover. There's really 4 big topics. Number 1 is how to invest in real estate. Here's the deal. 70% of the millionaires become millionaires investing in real estate, which means if you do not know how or invest in real estate, you have less than a 30% chance of having a net worth over $1 million. And we already know statistically 97% of the doctors cannot retire on the same lifestyle. We also know only 1% of millionaires become millionaires exchanging their time for money. In other words, being an optometrist, an attorney, or a chiropractor. So you have a 99% chance, if that's all you do, you have a 99% chance you're not going to have a net worth over $1 million at any point in your life. 14% are from leveraging money, investing in stocks, bonds, mutual funds, and 85% are from leveraging time. So there's way more millionaires become millionaires leveraging money and time than working. And that's the power of real estate. And so we cover a lot of these topics. Why is it that real estate creates so many millionaires? Well, it's based on the laws of the United States. The United States laws were generally built around real estate because that's what creates growth in a good economy. So we have some really good laws for real estate, way more than any other investment category. That's why. So the second thing we do in the Chiropractic Wealth Summit is how to hire, train, and manage associate doctors. Well, that gets to be very important if you ever want to take a vacation or take time off or work part-time. Unfortunately, most chiropractors never learn how to do that, and so they're stuck in their office most of their life, don't take very many vacations, and if they do, they're not very long. And that's a typical sad chiropractic story right there. And your whole life changes when you know how to hire, train, and manage associate doctors. Now you have freedom. You can take time off and still get paid. You can work part-time if you wanted to, or you can not work at all and just manage. And there are strategies to it. 70% of associate doctors don't work out. And the reason they don't is there's pretty much 5 major categories of associate doctors with about 7 different types of business models, associate doctor business models. And so if you try to if you don't know them and you don't fit them properly, that's when it doesn't work out. It's like trying to take a square peg and shoving it into a round hole. It doesn't work. So we teach how to do that. So how to hire, train, and manage associate doctors. It's the easiest source of passive income. Typically you break even in only 2 months. There's no more outlay of funds. So this could cost as little as $4,000 or $5,000 or $6,000. The associate doctor, if he only sees 80 visits a week at a $50 per visit, if you split it 50-50, you'll make a passive $100,000 a year. You would have had to make $16 million on your own at a 15% overhead to have $8 million, at a 15% overhead to have $4 million, at about a 2.5–3% interest rate to have a passive 6-figure income. Well, we can do that in as little as 90 days to 6 months and only spend $6,000. So that's a huge difference. I had 2 full-time associate doctors in my office. I'd see about 300 plus visits a week, and I just stopped working. So I only worked full-time for 7 years, part-time for 2 years, and then I trained. And I traveled the world. I did what I want, when I did. Again, I'm Dr. Paul. I've opened 77 offices in 20 states, donated over $500,000 to chiropractic. And this is how I did it. These systems are I did. First, I learned how to maximize the profitability in my office. Then I learned how to leverage it. In other words, double it up through associate doctors. And then I learned how to take that money and leverage it into real estate again. And that's how you can take $6,000 and turn it into $1 million. $6,000 for the salary of the associate. They make $100,000. You take the $100,000, leverage it into real estate 10-to-1. That's how I was able to retire at age 32. So I only worked 7 years full-time, 2 years part-time. But that's the power of knowing how to hire, train, and manage associate doctors. Third category is knowing the basics of tax deductions. Again, you have to know more than your accountant because he doesn't know what you're doing. Now, he'll know the books of your office and what's standard, but he won't know what you're spending and how and why you're spending it. And so you have to know those tax laws so you can tell the accountant, because if you don't know that, all of that's going to be taxed at earned income, which is the highest tax rate. And then the fourth category is asset protection, which is how to use trusts to protect yourself. Land trust for property and personal property trust for personal property. And that way, no matter what happens, you're protected. Even if you're in an LLC, it doesn't matter, you're still protected. So these are the four main categories that we teach in the Chiropractic Wealth Summit. And we get free videos here and training. You can check it all out. Chiropracticwealthsummit.com. You can go there and get more free training. If you hit the subscribe button, you already know that when you go to YouTube, you'll see more of my videos. If you hit the alert button, the bell, you already, I'm sure, know that when I post information, you'll be the first to know. So go ahead and subscribe, hit the bell, and then check out the free training at the Chiropractic Wealth Summit. And again, we do live seminars, but we also have everything pre-recorded. So you can have access to all this information now. You don't even have to wait for a live seminar. So go ahead and subscribe, check out the button, go to the chiropracticwealthsummit.com and for extra free training. But we give a lot of good free information, so you have a pretty good idea of what it takes. What are the easiest strategies for the chiropractor to create wealth? And that's what I've found out. It's how to maximize the profit in your office, number one. Number two, how to hire training managers, associate doctors. And number three is how to invest in real estate. Those are the three big ones that I found. Sign up, and hopefully we'll see you live at one of our workshops or seminars one day to help create your wealth.